Okay, here we go. This is the last in the series, and this is my favorite subject matter. Today we're going to talk about the importance of community banks. So this isn't only about Mid-Penn Bank. This is about all of our brother and sister community banks all across the country and the importance of them. So, we talked about the history of Mid-Penn Bank. We talked about the banking system and the regulatory structure. We talked about what has happened in the past month with the banks. We talked about the safety and soundness of Mid-Penn Bank. We talked about the FDIC insurance, and now we're going to talk about the importance of community banks. So these are my opinions. I think that the United States of America has had the greatest economy in the history of the world, in large part because we do have a very big and diverse banking system. So, at one point in time, there were 15,000 banks in the country. Now, as I said in the previous video, we're around 5,000. So those community banks, which make up, 3,000 to 4,000 of those current banks, Secretary Yellen talked about that they had a plan to cover the uninsured depositors at systemically important financial institutions, which are those really big ones like JP Morgan, et cetera. And clearly, in that JP Morgan is managing over $1 trillion of assets. Clearly, if something happened to them, it would be devastating to the financial system, right? A bunch of people might lose their deposits, they might not be able to make loans, et cetera. So that would be a devastating thing to the overall system. But those community banks, those 3,000 or so community banks across the country, they too manage almost $3 trillion of financial assets throughout the country. $3 trillion. So more than any one of those systemically important financial institutions. So any one of those community banks, they on their own aren't systemically important, but that network together is absolutely systemically important because we're managing all those deposits. And as importantly, we are the lenders for Main Street, right? So for Main Street individuals, for Main Street companies, smaller companies, owner-managed companies, municipalities, we lend to those types of entities. We manage assets for those types of entities. We provide community support in those entities. I didn't talk about this in an earlier video, but Mid-Penn Bank supported over 900 community organizations throughout our footprint with $2.5 million of contributions in 2022 and with 10,000 volunteer hours from our employees. So it's not just the $1.5 billion of loans that we made throughout our community. It's not just that community support. It's the dependence that a lot of people and companies and businesses and municipalities throughout our area, how much they depend upon us to help them accomplish their financial dreams. So I think that if something happens to that community bank network, that $3 trillion collectively of community banks, I think that is absolutely devastating to the system, the financial system in America. So collectively, they should absolutely be considered systemically important. And, for the communities that we serve, and a lot of community banks across the country, they're serving really small communities, 50,000 people or less. And not every community bank is like that, but a lot of them are. And it's important for people in all of those communities, whether they're rural, suburban, metropolitan, secondary metropolitans. It's important for everyone to have access to credit, to buy homes, to buy cars, to put their kids through college, to start a business, to run a business, to plan for retirement, all those things. So I personally feel that it's been the pleasure of my lifetime, my professional lifetime, to serve in this industry. I love what I do. We have a bank, 600 employees here that also love what they do, and we love serving the communities in which we live in, right? So we shop at the same places that our customers shop. We go to the same grocery stores. We worship at the same places. And do you think that happens with those too big to fails? Do you think that the CEOs of one of those big banks, are they going to the same grocery stores as their customers? Are they going to the same places of worship? Are they shopping at the same places? I don't think that that happens. And so why is that important? Because we are part of the same community that you are part of. And so we understand how devastating bad decisions on our part can be to that entire community. That's the benefit of the community banks. That's the benefit of the community bank industry in this country. And again, I think that it's a large part of why we have the best economy in the history of the world. So that wraps up this video series. We talked about everything that I hope gives you the confidence that we are safe and sound, strong and resilient, and that we are a fabric of this community that can't be easily replaced. Thank you.